has been handed down from my aunt to my mom, who died, rest in peace, Grandma, 2 years ago. And I actually, when I lived in Phoenix, won a recipe contest from
Shamrock Farms.
Shamrock Farms. It's funny because I don't cook. And I'm actually a published chef. And it's our Hashbrown Quiche. And it's so easy, and almost everything we get, we've gotten from the food bank. Food pantry. I'm sorry. I practiced not to say that too. Oops. Okay, so Lori's the actual chef in our family. I just won the contest.
I just have the mess
So go for it, Lori.
All right, we've already baked up the hash browns. And Kathy, if you want to explain how you started that, and I'll...
The hash browns, I cheated and bought the frozen kind, and then you unthaw them. I leave them out overnight, and then in the morning they're ready to go. And you smush the hash browns in the, well, first you spray it with Pam or butter, and smush the hash browns in there with paper towels so that you can get all the water out of there you can, because that's going to be your crust. Therefore a quiche, because it has a crust. And real men eat quiche. Ask my husband. And so you bake the hash browns about, what did we say, 400?
For about 30-35 minutes until they start to get brown and crispy. It'll give you like a shell then for when you put the egg mixture in there. Next, we kind of played with it a little bit at home just to see what would be the quickest and easiest. I already cut up onions. You can buy frozen onions, or when we get them from the food pantry, I just chop them up and save them in a glass jar because it keeps the stink out of the fridge. 2-3 tablespoons of onion. You can chop them as fine or as coarse as you like them.
And to your taste.
Yeah. I use sweet onions. But yellow onions or any onion that you prefer will work. And if you don't like onions, don't use them. Then I'm going to take a dozen eggs. We experimented at home because it's a bigger dish, and we used about 14 eggs for the bigger one, so we're going to use a dozen in this one today.
The recipe got called hash brown pie because the recipe I first got, it was made in a pie pan. But the pie pan wasn't big enough to feed 6 of us, so we moved it to a cake pan.
Yeah, and you can adjust this recipe really easy for your individual needs. If there's only 2 of you, you don't want to make a big pan. Or make a big pan and have leftovers. I had a 12-year-old babysitter show me how to do this one time. About a 1/4 cup of milk. It adds a little fluffiness to your eggs. It gives it a little more texture.
If you don't want to use milk, you don't have to.
You can also use water if you want to.
It cooks a little faster with the milk in it.
And we've already seasoned the hash browns with salt, pepper, and Lawry's.
My son said, tell Lori to put the Lawry's on there because it makes the whole thing.
I like to beat them so there's none of that, it mixes up good. Some people like the egg whites to come through. And that looks about done. And then just pour that over this. This smelled so good at home. I was like, can't we have some now? Yeah, it doesn't work just about right. Then we have turkey ham today, and you can use whatever you want. Bacon bits, regular ham, chicken, whatever your flavor is, or no meat at all. And I use about a cup of this. And the dogs enjoyed all the little pieces I dropped on the floor. About 2 cups of cheese, and again, that's according to your taste. We're using sharp cheddar today. You can use whatever kind you prefer.
We've used commodity cheese before. It's great. It melts great.
And this is a 1/4 cup that I have in here just to...
And we use about 2 cups of cheese. Correct?
Yep. Um, 400, about 30-35 minutes. We like it where the cheese gets a little brown, you know, little color to it. If you don't like it that much, you know, take it out a little earlier. We also have diced tomatoes you can put on top of this as a garnish, some jalapenos, other vegetables. You can also add other vegetables in this or on the side, carrots,
Zucchini, squash, I mean corn if you want it for dinner. It's endless. You can put whatever you want in it.
Yeah, peas would add a nice color to it.
Yeah.
And then, what did I say, 400 for 30-35 minutes.
That's what it took.
Then open the oven.
Love to.
It's set just perfect.
And she's putting it on the top shelf because putting it on the top shelf where the heat lamp is coming down will caramelize the cheese a little bit.